Like their third and second year predecessors, the first years worked very hard this year to bring excellence to everything they did while in clinic, grand rounds, on call, and even in their free time. Let's take a look at how some of them handled the demands and expectations of first year.
God, I can't believe I just saw 15 patients in a row in the last 12 hours. I've slept a whooping 2 hours in the last 3 days, and I've peed a total of 1.5 times. I'm so sick of this. I don't think I can do it anymore. I think I'm gonna cry.
There, sweetie. Don't you cry.
Who?
Over here.
Slit lamp? You talk?
Sure. Of course I do. The name's Slitty. I've heard you all night. I've been with you this whole time. In fact, I've seen you at work all year. And you know what? I think you're a mighty fine doctor.
Really? You really mean it?
Sure I do. The way you turned my arm to do specular reflection and indirect illumination and diagnose that anterior basement membrane dystrophy tonight, you don't think I didn't know what you were trying to do?
Gosh, Lydia, I didn't know you were seeing everything.
I've been here a long time. I've seen them all come through. They've all handled me. Why, I remember when Drew was a first year. He was such a snotty-nosed punk.
Ah, really?
Sure was.
Whoa, is that U78 diopter?
Actually, they call me by my other name, Siete Ocho. Anyway, we've seen them all come through, especially your senior residentes. I remember when Jordana first tried to use me. Ay, 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 she was waving me around, and I was like, Señorita, Señorita, you gotta line me up with the light. La luz, bebita. Then, one day she just got it, and now look at her.
You know who else was pretty green? Jill was.
Direct ophthalmoscope? You talk too?
Call me Dio for short. Just remember, I went to an allopathic med school, okay? Anyway, Jill was so green she picked me up and tried to retinoscope with me. Then she realized what she did and got mad and pulled my head off. I'll get my revenge on her someday.
Whoa, it's okay, Dio. I'm sure she meant no harm.
Oh yeah? I wonder how she'd feel if I pulled her head off and replaced it with Jordana's head.
Okay, well then. Any stories about Catherine?
I have a story about Catherine.
Mr. Projector?
That's Professor Projector to you, Dr. Bartolini.
I didn't mean any disrespect.
That is quite alright. Anyway, Catherine was on her 10th day call patient one day when my bulb decided to burn out. I can still hear the profanities she was mumbling under her breath as she tried to take me apart and replace my bulb. Which, if you know anything about my good friend Thomas Edison, you know he declared that my bulb model was out of date about a month after he invented the light bulb.
Wow, you're that old, Professor?
You know Roman numerals?
Well, yeah, I know of it.
None of this EGNU5 crap. Back then it was VVI, VII, VIII.
Okay. Well, that leaves Brian then. Any stories about him? Proparacaine bottle?
This guy's only a month old, and he gets thrown out at the end of the month.
Hey, don't talk to me that way.
Aw, calm down, Props. I got a Brian story for you, honey.
Okay, how should I call you?
Call me Four Eyes. Anyway, Brian used to have such trouble handling me. One time, he was refracting a patient as a first year. He tried over and over again to get his patient to see better. Flipping my this, flipping my that, turning my dials this way and that way, until he finally discovered 20 minutes later, I had my eyes shut the whole entire time. I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and...
I can't believe my seniors were like this. It puts so much in perspective, being a first year and making all these mistakes. But thanks for sharing, guys. This has really made me feel better.
the soul for getting down.
You think you're gonna go home and get some sleep, don't you?
The hounds
Yeah, you're right.